Good morning everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. As usual, please do remember to comment, like and subscribe because it really helps us getting this new channel off the ground. It is Saturday, July the 26th and today it's the final pre-season friendly for Redcar Athletic as we travel to our seaside neighbours Whitby Town at the Tow Bar Express Stadium to see how we can compete against a side one division higher than us in the Northern Premier League Premier Division. So let's head over to the North Yorkshire Seaside coast and see what's going on. So here we are in Redcar, and if you're wondering why, it's because for the first time this season we're going by coach to the away game, which will be a regular feature during the Northern Premier League season, although not in the opening 2 months as it happens, because we've got a load of northeast local away fixtures. But there will be certainly a lot of coach travel during the season ahead, starting with today. So let's get on the bus and head to Whitby. So this is the bus taking us to Whitby. Skelton Coaches are our supplier for the season. Fans already getting ready, looking forward to a day by the sea and no doubt a couple of shandies. We are in Redcar Rugby Club's car park, by the way. And if you're wondering about the rugby club, you often see it in these videos as I drive in. We will at some point come up and do a proper walk around, but you can just see the stand and the floodlights from Redcar Rugby Club up there in the distance. We will come and do a proper review at some point, but for now we do need to head to Whitby. And you might notice a familiar face driving the coach today. It is of course Saucy Sammy's from our burger van, showing that women can indeed multitask. So here we are in Whitby again, and going into today's game, obviously there's a one division difference between Whitby Town, who finished in the lower reaches of the Northern Premier League Premier Division. Redcar Athletic of course won the Northern League last season and are competing in the Northern Premier League East this season. Whitby were dragged into the relegation battle at the back end of last season, and will be hoping for better fortunes this time around. One of their saviours last season was Leighton Watts, who left Redcar a few weeks into last season before going to West Auckland Town and then on to Whitby, where he scored some crucial goals to keep them in the division. He'll be linking up with his old club today, and in the other direction will be Brad Fewster, who was a prolific goal scorer during his time at Whitby Town. he'll be lining up against his old club today. So promises to be an interesting battle at the Tow Bar Express Stadium. We'll head over there shortly, but this being Whitby, there has to be a fish and chip shop stop. And for today's fish stop, we're going to try the fish box. So cod and chips from the fish box, looks pretty good. Let's tuck in. And now let's go and join the rest of the Redcar fans inside the Station Inn. So before we go into the Tow Bar Express Stadium, right next door to the stadium here is Whitby Cricket Club, which, as you can see, is a very scenic setting. And it is Middlesbrough versus Whitby. Middlesbrough batting at the moment, and they've made a good start, 108 for 2 now, as from the town end Whitby comes into bowl. Fast run up, all there, blocked, and there is no run. And that's the end of the over, and that's my audition for Test Match Special. And just to show you how close the cricket ground is to the Tow Bar Express Stadium, there it is. So let's head inside. And here's the entrance. So here we are then at the Tow Bar Express Stadium. We will have a proper look around, but the main feature of it, as we'll see shortly, is this impressive raised grandstand. And we'll have a look around all the sections. Usual sort of tea snack bar with all of the usual football fare. Just have a quick look in the social club here. So quite a long bar. A bit warm for it today, I have to say. And here's the Whitby Club shop. Obviously not fully stocked at this point of the season, as like everyone, they're waiting for stuff to arrive.
Yeah, only them ones though.
All their ducks in a row.
I did do him though.
What did you go to Dad's last
To be fair, I did skin him.
What did you go to Dad's last Granddad?
Saki's making up a winning song.
Did you actually?
And like ourselves, still waiting for kit to arrive. So this is the end behind the goal, at the town end, I assume we'd call it, because the other end I'm going to call the C end. I'm sure it's got a proper name. You really only got one step of terrace, I suppose two. There's like, to allow for mobility for people that have trouble getting up to this big step. There is a smaller step here. And this gives you a first decent view of the impressive main stand here at the Tow Bar Express Stadium, which is a feature of the ground. And now we're going to have a look at this covered side in a bit more detail. And we've got this second refreshment kiosk in the corner here, which presumably would come into play when they have segregation in place, as they will do for certain fixtures in the Northern Premier. And then we come round to the covered side, which has got about 5 or 6 steps of terracing. A little bit of an unusual shape, the way it's bigger at one end than the other, and of course offers another great view of the grandstand, which is where we're headed next. But before that, it's programme reviews time, and Whitby have produced a 40-page issue for today's game. And it starts with some basic club information, stuff about tackling offensive behaviour at matches and so on. Then we've got the views of Gary Liddell. Some adverts, obviously quite a few ads as you'd expect. Stuff on Redcar Athletic. There we are. Plenty of stuff on us. Lots of connections between the two sides, of course. Look back at 24-25 season when Redcar won the title. More ads. The big read, and we've got Leighton Watts, of course one of our former players, who's featured heavily in today's programme, as I suppose you'd expect him to be. Town and Hummel, a new era for obviously kit suppliers. Heroes, idols and cult figures. This is a good read, by the way. Seasiders and On This Day collections. Fixtures and results for 25-6. Squad statistics. Pre-season games, under 23s, under 18s, under 17s. Looking at some of Whitby Town's Lone Stars and of course the teams on the back. An excellent programme for pre-season. I'd probably score it slightly less for a league game, but for pre-season this is a 9 out of 10. It will be difficult to see really, apart from maybe produced on slightly better paper, how it could be any better than that. That's the programme review. And finally, behind the goal at the Seaside end of the ground, there's no terracing to speak of. It's just a single track apart from this one step here, and as you can see, for the moment at least, this is the area of the ground where all the Redcar travelling supporters are congregated. And finally, this is the view from up in the main stand. And we're underway at the Tow Bar Express Stadium. Whitby, of course, playing in their regular blue and white, and Redcar in their regular red and blue. And an early chance for the visitors. And an early corner.
You don't mind, do you?
And just receiving the ball here is new signing Dane Burles, making his debut for Redcar today. Rex Houston nearly catching the keeper out, and it's a goal for Louis Johnson. Louis Johnson fires the Stillman into the lead. The initial effort from Boys was blocked by the keeper, and then Johnson followed up, and the Stillman take the lead here at the Tow Bar Express Stadium.
We're going from Scarborough, yeah. His foot's all right now. But, where is it? Oh, well done. Whelan, you know what I'm saying off? Yeah. Thank you, Whelan. He's broke his foot. He's got a hairline fracture in his foot. He did a stupid tackle against
And almost a quick reply there from Leighton Watts against his old club, but blocked by Masfari. And Louis Johnson adds a second. Good work from Oscar Fletcher providing the assist. And the Stillman go into a 2-0 lead. And after losing the ball, Masfari recovers quickly to deny the trialist number 10 for Whitby an instant reply. and Adam. And we're back underway at the Tow Bar Express Stadium, and surprisingly no changes yet for either side. And I tell a lie, Che Liddell is actually on. And the ball robbed there. And the home side come back into the game 3-2. Bit of a mix-up between Josh Masfari and the defence.
Your goal scorer for Whitby, number 9, Leighton Watts, and your goal time 48 minutes.
And as I think you just heard on the tannoy, it was indeed Leighton Watts who scored against his old club. And Louis Johnson inches away there from completing his hat-trick on the break. Well, taken by Josh Masfari under pressure. And close to an equaliser there, but the ball scrambled away. Oh, it's just over the bar from Danny Lay. And the scores are level. Michael Woods for the home side links up with a trialist who's been quite impressive today, I have to say, number 10. And it's all square here at the Tow Bar Express Stadium. And full time here at the Tow Bar Express Stadium. It
There you go, ladies and
finishes
gentlemen, final score, Whitby Town
all
3,
square.
Redcar Athletic 3. And once again on behalf of Whitby Town Football Club, just like to thank you very all for coming this afternoon, and please have a safe journey home. Thank you.
Okay, I've been joined by Carl Jarrett following today's 3-3 draw with Whitby Town. What did you make of that one, Carl?
I think I learnt a few things today. Obviously, it's getting closer to the season starting next week. It was a good entertaining game if you're watching it, obviously 3-3. A couple of things I thought our lads played well in certain parts of the first half that we were pleased with at half time, obviously going in leading 3-1. Changed the shape a little bit to see if we could have a little look at a different shape, a 3-5-2 today. Obviously second half, I thought we started the second half a little bit sloppy, our passing wasn't great. And then we made a mistake for the second goal, messing around with it at the back instead of just cleaning our lines. And then we just let them get the tails up again. Obviously, they get the second goal there, and then it makes them press us a little bit more, put us under a little bit more pressure. And then we made another mistake by not holding the ball up good enough up front, and then they get the third goal actually from that play there. So all in all, people have most probably come in and seen the game sort 3-3. We're disappointed, obviously, in the second half performance. Like I've said loads of times, the pre-season results don't really matter. It's what happens next Saturday. What I was more concerned about was obviously the second half performance of changes that happened and substitutes and stuff like that. I expect better, and I was a little bit disappointed in the second half performance to the first.
And obviously this is the end of pre-season now. It's been a mixed bag of games. What have you made of the pre-season period generally? As
that, what you've just said, I said that exact words in the change rooms before the game to the lads. It's been a mixed bag. Always is, always will be. Unfortunately, this is what you'd have unless the professional football players and they're getting paid right through with all the people that are allowed to go away on holiday and miss games. Unfortunately, that just happens as a management. You've just got to get used to it. You've got to, I always think, have a decent sized squad. We've used our squad really well. A lot of people have had good minutes, new players coming in, trying to gel with the old players. Some young trialists coming on, doing okay. So we've had some positives. The results doesn't matter, but they've been hit and miss. I'm more concerned about the way we've been playing and fitting people in, and we've had some good times and some bad times. So yeah, mixed bag, you bang on.
And finally, this will be obviously the last time I speak to you before the competitive season starts. First ever season for the club at Step 4. What are the objectives for the coming campaign from your point of view?
The objectives are all the time. If this management's involved at any club where I've been before, we always look to do the best we possibly can in the league and try and get as high as possibly. It's very hard for me to start turning around and say we're going to hit the playoffs, we're going to win this, we're going to win that. For us, it's in and around of what we can compete with. I think we've got a great squad that we've been able to recruit this season that can compete really well in this league of what I've seen last season, because I watched a lot of it. But we've got to do our business on the pitch week in, week out, and then we work out where we are. Looking around, speaking to a manager that's obviously been promoted from this level that we're in and into the level where Whitby are. I want to carry on, I want to get a playoffs, I want to win things, and that's what I'm here for. I think the lads all understand what we're about. But it's going to be a long season. It's going to be tough. It's going to be grinding results out sometimes. A lot of travel. It's availability of everyone week in, week out. That's the most important thing for me. But we'll give our best shot. That's what we always do.
Well, best of luck, Carl. It all starts next week. See you then.
Thank you.
So it finishes Whitby Town 3, Redcar Athletic 3. And it was, I suppose, that was the proverbial game of two halves, wasn't it? Try to avoid cliches on this channel, but it's nothing really more appropriate than that to say about today's game. Redcar fairly comfortable in the first 45. Whitby, it must be said, were under strength today with about 7 regular first teamers unavailable. In the second half, Carl Jarrett tried a new formation with 3 playing at the back, 3-5-2. It didn't really quite work out, as is self-evident by the result. Whitby were considerably improved in the second 45. I would think it was a good day for both of their trialists, number 7 and 10 for Whitby. 7 was named by the sponsors as the man of the match, and I would have thought that both of them have significantly strengthened their case for getting signed on permanently by the club. as Carl said in his wrap-up, this concludes a mixed bag of pre-season results, and you can't really read too much into pre-season, of course. 2 seasons ago, Redcar had a perfect pre-season and then started the season awfully. Last season, they had a pretty perfect pre-season as well and started the season very strongly. So that in itself shows that you can't read too much in it. Today, we've had a mixed bag. Well, if we have a mixed bag of results in the first season of Northern Premier League football and end up comfortably mid-table, I'm guessing that will probably be seen as a pretty good return by most Redcar supporters. For Whitby, it's difficult, having looked at that game in isolation, to know how they'll fare in their forthcoming Northern Premier League Premier Division campaign, obviously partly because most of their significant squad was missing, and also because, obviously they are going to be playing against tougher opposition as well. It's good for the area, obviously, to keep them in the Premier Division, so I hope that they manage to keep up. It's a great ground, a great club in a great town, so we would hope to be visiting Whitby in the league courtesy of our own promotion rather than from their relegation. But a great day out from the travelling fans, who were in raucous voice in the second half, it has to be said, and it's always a great place to go. So that wraps up pre-season completely. I shan't be going to any more pre-season fixtures. I know there are 1 or 2 still dotted about for National League teams and indeed Northern Premier League Premier sides who don't start till the 9th either. But that's it for this channel. We're concentrating exclusively on competitive football from now on, and that continues when we go and see our near neighbours Redcar Town in action this Tuesday, July the 29th, to see if they can continue their opening day good form when they take on FC Hartlepool, who also won on the opening day of the Northern League Division 2 season. So it's all shaped up for an exciting tie at the Momolam Stadium on Tuesday. Join us on the channel then. Until then, I'll catch you later.